New Age Parenting, presented by Manav Rachna.
Hello and a very warm welcome to New Age Parenting. Valentine's Day just went by, and for most of the school-going students, it was a big experience. Be it the adolescents or be it the teenagers, everyone was having a good time. They were all waiting with bated breath for this day, and it has just passed. We are all celebrating Valentine's week. But what does it signify to a child, to a teenager, and of course to a parent or a teacher? Of course, there is a pressure of, getting into a relationship, or the Valentine pressure. Let's try to find out what really happens to these young kids and how the parents and the schools are taking to it. So time now for soul searching.
Valentine's Day is celebrated the world over in the memory of Saint Valentine on 14th February. In India, youngsters take it as a day to profess their love to their loved ones. Over the years, the trend is moving towards the younger lot. More and more adolescents between the age group of 10 and 16 have taken to this trend of gifting flowers, cards, red hearts, and even other gift items. It may look very romantic and sweet to an outsider, but for a young heart, it can be a time of real stress and pressure. What are the reactions of family, teachers, and the kids to the Valentine's Day celebrations? Let's explore.
This Valentine week, as we promised, we have two special guests in our soul searching segment. We have Mrs. Geeta Karunakaran, who is Vice Principal, Manav Rachna School, and we have Apurva Garg, who is a student of 11th in Manav Rachna School. A very warm welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
And happy Valentine Day, Apurva.
Thank you.
How did you celebrate it?
I celebrated it with my family,
Wow.
with my parents, with my sister, with my grandparents.
So, Geeta, what do you think? Is it too much of a hype we have created about Valentine, or these youngsters are really excited when it is Valentine week?
I think it's more of a hype because the schools as such look at it as a very normal working day, and we don't do anything special on that particular day. So I think it's just the psyche that's in the students that they want to enjoy and do something different like they have on Friends Day. So Friendship Day.
How is the atmosphere around?
The atmosphere is lovely. Everyone is happy, and everyone is cheerful, and everyone is
Excited about
it.
Who's going to propose to whom? Who will get a flower? How many flowers in yellow color, red color, white color? Which flower says what?
Yeah.
All those things. But deep down, the impact on these young minds about these acceptances and rejections.
Yes, it is there, and therefore I think a good school which does counseling on a regular basis can sort this out like very easily.
But how about the stress of Valentine? That again is a very important thing, that you're expecting somebody's going to present to you a flower and he is proposing it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Have you seen rejections and have you seen dejections in your near and dear
No,
ones?
I've never seen, but my friends have seen.
Yeah.
And I've seen them seeing these rejections. And I feel sometimes that this would affect their studies as well. This would affect their personal life with their parents, with their family. Sometimes they're all the 24 hours on the phone with that boy.
What is your take? How do you people handle it? Do you completely reject it? And how the counseling happens? What exactly you do?
When we get cases or we come across students who are actually not performing up to their potential, we try to find the reason why, and often we come to a conclusion like this, that perhaps because the age is such, and it's something, a very natural phenomena, we've all gone through it during our days. So we'd like to get down to the root of it. We call the child separately. I at my level would like to counsel, the principal would then do counseling at her level, and finally of course we will route the channel through the counselor who does her bit, and we get in the parents when the counselor meets the student. We always get in the parents as well, And we do find that we can iron this out, not though very easily, but to a very large extent.
But how about in general, when you are seeing kids getting into these flings, these attachments and then breakups and then attachments and then breakups, is there a counseling which happens at day-to-day level, and how the parents should also be aware of it?
Yes, see, our school has got a complete counseling cell where we have a counselor and a psychologist with us. So for us in our school, it's an ongoing process, and I think most schools have this. It is not only related to a Valentine's Day, but more so because the examination is near during the Valentine's Day, we find more cases coming up. But the counseling session is on throughout. And we do go into the root, we involve the parents, we do ask them about the child's behavior at home. We do try to link up a lot of little bits to come and see a bigger, larger picture.
Got friends who got into relationships. How did it start? What was it that was, what you feel was absent in their life, which they were looking for? Why at such early age?
If someone gets attracted to the other person, we feel nice to be with that person. We like to spend time with that person. This is the start of the relationship. And while this attraction and this we get in the relationship, then after when there's fighting and there's nothing left in the relationship, there is nothing new, then there's a breakup, there's a hue and cry, a lot of hue and cry on that relationship. And then you get to hear many stories about you, that many rumors you get to hear, that this is not a good person, this is not a bad person, and all that.
So then the rumors, the pressure of rumors also?
Yeah.
So what happens really to that person?
That person feels, I have a friend of mine who has started feeling that I'm bad. She has heard so many rumors about her, and she has started feeling that I am bad. I'm not able to cope up with my studies, I'm not able to cope up with my family, I'm not able to cope up with my friends and all that.
So somewhere the self-esteem of the child is actually going down.
Certainly.
So how, as a school, as a management, you people cope with it? I'm saying, like, more workshops, more counseling sessions. Have you seen more students coming to counselor?
Not really. I mean, if I were to talk about my school, it's been a regular stream of students visiting the counselor for various reasons, and this could be one of them. So, as I would, like to go back to state initially, what I said was, it's more of a hype. And even when it comes to Valentine's, it's the whole meaning and purpose of Valentine's celebration is to be able to share your happiness or joy in some form with someone that you love. It need not necessarily be the opposite sex. So the little ones, we'd like them to make a card for their teacher, maybe for their parent, grandparents, maybe just for a neighbor. And there are different ways a family can celebrate the Valentine's Day, having probably a family dinner together, or going out for a movie, or perhaps even just visiting one of the nursing homes and interacting with people and taking small little gifts for them as a gesture. I think these are ways where there's more family bonding. Valentine's Day essentially to me would mean strong family bonding, to show your own kids love, to express love. And this is one good platform where the parents can wholeheartedly involve along with the kids and be a part of the giving,
Valentine can
the so-called giving.
Yes, can be, like creating a bond, family bond together. At this juncture, we'll take a short break, but we'll be back soon. So stay tuned.
New Age Parenting, presented by Manav Rachna. New Age Parenting, presented by Manav Rachna.
Welcome back to New Age Parenting in Soul Searching. Today we are trying to find out what really happens during Valentine's Day, and in fact this is the time when exam pressure is also there. Let's talk about that. Is the pressure always there all year through, or it just starts happening before the exams?
The pressure is the whole year. Pressure from teachers, pressure from parents, pressure from peer group. We face pressure the whole year. It's not just that during the Valentine's, because the exams are approaching, we feel more stress or more pressure. It's not just that. But during the Valentine, the parents feel that my child should not go on the wrong path. That is why they pressurize more. to their children. Maybe that's the reason.
Okay, but you find that there is a more restriction during this time? Or parents are more aware? They suddenly become aware.
Yeah.
You know, they really start looking where he's going, to whom he's talking and things like that. Okay, now let's talk about the exam pressure, you know, like during February and I think March first week the exams are there.
Yes.
So what happens to you people? Is it the pressure of exams or the result?
Both of them are there. It's not that the pressure of exams is different and it is different. Both are there. It's just that both are there.
How do you feel? What happens really? I mean, is there a fear? How does the pressure build up? You know, like, is there fear of exams?
No, when we start feeling like I have not completed my course, I have to do it again. I have to do it while the preparatory leaves are there. I have to complete the course before the exam starts. That is the pressure. It's not that the pressure is there also, like I have to score 100%. I have to get first in the class. The pressure is like that. It's not like that we have to celebrate the Valentines as well.
So a lot of things have to be done together. Multitasking has to be done. Geeta, if we look at it, CBSE has really helped students a lot by the CCE thing, and not too much stress now for the board examination. But the fear of exam is still like hanging in the air.
I think students are far more relaxed now with the latest norms that the CBSE has come out with even making the board an optional exam. So I find a very casual attitude, in fact, with students.
Yeah, most of the teachers have a different take. They feel that they are in fact not at all taking it seriously. Somewhere examinations should be taken seriously.
Yes. So examination pressure as such wouldn't be the real cause. There could be many other distractions which are very common at this age, which also result in poor performance. So it need not necessarily be that a child is in a relationship. It could be other behavioral aspects as well. Very clear in their behavior. The behavioral pattern is disrupted. And that is the first signs that a teacher or a counselor, or to that matter any head, can notice and begin the counseling session. And this happens all through. The changes that I'm talking about is all throughout the session. And even when he is not performing up to his potential, because I do not believe that any child cannot score minimum grades to even qualify to the next grade. But it so happens because of the distractions that I'm talking about. And we do counsel the child on and off, but he doesn't seem to be serious. So that is when it reaches the peak, is around this time, sometime in Jan-Feb, when the final exams are around the corner. And we do need to warn the child that if you're not getting serious with it, you may just not qualify to move on to the next grade.
Few years back, there used to be a lot of breakdowns, in February, a lot of psychological issues used to come up actually.
Yes.
What is happening now in present times? Is it that much there still, or now because of the ease of the whole process, it's not visible that much?
No, it still exists. But there are a lot of helpline channels we have. The counseling, the telephone lines are all open now. So even the children appearing for their 10th and 12th can look for guidance apart from academic help. So I think that really eases a lot of their pressure.
Those philanthropic acts can help ease out the pain, the healing process can start.
Yes.
Because if you start healing somebody else, your healing starts happening on your own.
Absolutely.
So how many these kind of acts, taking them to a nursing home or taking them to a old age home or to an orphanage, are these part of the school curriculum, like the activities which school takes and undertakes?
Very much. We do have visits to the home for the blind, home for the aged, and also to an NGO where our school students are regularly interacting. It's just to get them sensitive, more sensitive to these issues, and I think they really matter. Because that is where then they understand and they are conscious about the other person's emotions. And I think that plays a major role.
Yeah, in fact, that's
So-
that's what I actually like, you know, because it's
Yes.
very difficult to bring out a child from the involvement they are in, you know, like
Yes,
even if it's a
yes.
relationship, even if it's a breakup, whatever, or maybe the pressure of exams, you know.
Yes.
So some healing on their part can help them. You know, you've been part of the education system and being
Yeah.
with kids for a long time now. What have you seen? Of course, their IQs have gone high, and their awareness level is also much higher than us. But how are they emotionally?
Yeah, emotionally, I'd rather say that they're not too sound, and there are various reasons for that. School plays a major role. So does the atmosphere back home. If it's very stable, because today we always find both the parents, most houses where both the parents are working, and they come back late, they actually don't have enough time to devote to their children, or even to ask them what is happening on a day-to-day basis, or even like a simple thing of having a meal together. So that is where you find that those children are most affected. You find their EQ level pretty low. And that is where a school can do by stepping in and helping him come out of it. So I think a school is such a rounded atmosphere that it gives an opportunity to every child to pursue his interests. Either it could be in painting, or it could be in music, or in sport, to develop something that he's inclined towards. And I think that is one of the reasons perhaps which could help the child come out of it gradually, though it is a whole, it takes years to
In fact, if we look at it as a society, as a whole, as a society, as people, we are also emotionally very, very unstable. What do you feel, Apurva, before we, wind this up? Is like, do you think adults are emotionally stable, or it actually gets, downloaded to kids, their emotional instability?
No, it's not that the adults are not emotionally unstable. They are also sometimes emotionally unstable. Situations are sometimes like that adults also become emotionally unstable. In the adolescence, it is more that they are emotionally unstable, because they are gradually going through this stage due to the change in hormones and all that. That is why they are more emotionally unstable. But adults are also sometimes emotionally
I think it's
unstable.
the pressure of the society is
Yes.
somewhere, and
both ways.
yes, we'll all have to understand that this is where we might have gone wrong, and somewhere that is why it is being downloaded to these kids, because we really have to have a rain check again. Apurva and Geeta, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
These are few facts which actually, when we have an open chat, we really understand that as a parent, I also need to understand where I stand. Emotionally, I also have to see whether I have that stability or not. And at times, we don't have answers. Spirituality is the key to all the questions. So let's move over to spiritual significance.
We're living in a world where unconditional love and acceptance are the need of the hour. It is not just a coincidence that a day which is commemorated to profess unconditional love to your partner is in the memory of a revered saint. In fact, this is the day when everyone wants to give rather than take, which shows the deep understanding of love at a spiritual level. It's a day which talks about giving your heart. It talks about giving love, unconditional acceptance, and loads of gifts to the person you love. This is the day which signifies the meaning of true love, which is in giving rather than taking. Once we learn to give, maybe to start with to just one person, our loved one, and revel in the feeling of giving, which can be very liberating, we learn the essence of love. This love can be then extended to more than one person, to my parents, teachers, siblings, and friends, and I learn the lesson and experience of giving as an expression of true love, which when extended to the whole world makes me experience the concept of universal love.
Spirituality actually talks about connecting with myself, with the inner being, and of course, also talks about becoming self-sufficient. Once I am self-sufficient, once I have understood the true meaning of love, compassion, I would actually be able to give it to others. Sharing only comes when I am full. Otherwise, I'll keep on expecting something when I share. And at times, mapping these conflicts and finding a solution through spirituality actually gives us a new insight. So time now for mapping the conflict.
Child's view. Valentine's Day is special. The whole world celebrates it. I want to spend this day with my friends and with my Valentine. It makes me feel special.
Parent view. Valentine's Day is a big hype created by media and it's over commercialized. Kids are misled by this hype. They are under a lot of pressure.
Solution. Rather than negating the existence of Valentine's Day, accept its importance in your child's life. Make it special by making him or her your Valentine so that they will feel special. Let it be a family affair.
Child's view. Parents freak out because they feel we are distracted due to Valentine's Day. It falls in the month of exams. The excitement of this day takes the pressure of studies and related expectations off our shoulders for a day.
Parents view the excitement of this day is not just for a day. It continues for the whole week and precious time is wasted.
Solution. Prioritizing and understanding the importance of time is a value which a child learns by watching. Negotiate with your child. Reach a common ground which will make him feel like a winner.
I also know my priorities and would like to concentrate on my studies, but when all my friends are celebrating, I feel left out. So I feel it's better to enjoy than sulk.
Parents view having a Valentine is a fad created out of peer pressure. Schools should be stricter and not allow the exchange of chocolates, flowers or gifts amongst children on this occasion.
Every fad has a time limit. It dies its own death. But forcing or controlling the child will not have desired result. Accepting and celebrating with them will ease out the tension at home and will give comfort to your child.
We do understand exams are just right the corner and there is a lot of pressure not only on the students but also at home with parents. So in next episode we'll try to find out some tips for all those parents and students who are going through stress and examination pressure. But before that, there's one thing which we would like to share with you is that this is your platform. New Age Parenting is a program which talks about parents and of course students, children and parenting. So till the time we meet again, enjoy parenting.
New Age Parenting, presented by Manav Rachna.